to the Elowyn Luna channel. On today's video, I'm doing a Q&A from question subscribers submitted on my community tab last month. While answering, I'll also be unboxing a bunch of different figures from Toy Donut that didn't come in boxes. And a few of these are from a member of the Mr. Surprise Discord group that also sold me a few figures. Now, this is a voiceover as there's no way I could answer questions and unbox at the same time, but we still had the ASMR sounds in the background of the unboxing. So I hope you enjoy that, and I also accidentally deleted the original post, so for the longer questions, sadly I can't see them, but I did my best to answer every question. Let's start with an easy one. Miley asked where I get my blind boxes from, and well, I have a playlist for all of my hauls and store reviews, so I'm going to link it now and in the description so anyone can check that out to answer that question. Alex asked, how and when did I get into collecting figures? Well, I've always been a collector, but my grandmother used to collect Barbie cards for me and lots of other things. She herself collected plushies and Disney pins, so I inherited being a collector from her. But for vinyl figures, my first was probably 5 years ago. And the reason I didn't really deep dive into it was because for all the blind boxes that I knew were from North American brands and had so many repeats in the box and were impossible to get a full series. And that just didn't seem like fun, even though I liked the figures. But when I found popmart 3 years ago, my eyes were open, let's say. I really loved that you could get a full case and get every single one you wanted. Without all of those repeats, it really made me excited to start collecting blind boxes. Bunny, Ty, and Alice ask, how do you organize your collection and what do you use to display them? Also, will you ever do a collection video? So these questions were all really the same, so I lumped them together. Yes, eventually I will do a collection video. I know a lot of people want to see that. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to film, but my house is basically a cave. So shooting is very hard, especially now that it's winter and dark at 3 p.m. I also hate dealing with artificial light, and I do need to do a lot of organizing still. As for how I display them, I will have videos next year about that. I'm hoping to do a video like that about once a month. But in general, I do love IKEA cabinets. I enjoy using shelves, acrylic nail polish displays that you can get pretty easily from Amazon. And I also recently got some toy containers from Token, and you can get them from a lot of different stores that sell blind boxes. And I have a video coming up for the end of Advent where I will show off one of the toy containers I have. So I do have kind of a mini collection video for Advent. So that'll be out in a few days. I hope you check it out. S asked, do you have an all-time favorite figure, and do you have any advice for people starting to collect? Such great questions. It's so hard to pick an all-time favorite figure, but I'll go with one of the first figures I ever got from Kid Robot and the artist Tara McPherson. The series is called Stellar Dream Scout, and I unboxed the Secret Edition Cosmo while in the store Collective, which is based in Toronto, 4 years ago. And I was on a trip to Toronto when I unboxed it. I think I spent maybe like 20 minutes in the store trying to find the heaviest box, and I was so overjoyed I got it. Tara McPherson at the time was one of my favorite artists, so you can imagine all of those things make this figure really special and have a lot of memories. As for advice, don't waste your money. If you can't afford it now, just wait. Things will be there when you can afford it, even if it's 4 years after it came out. Don't get sucked into things being limited edition, and don't consume just to consume. Buy what you want. And for our next question, we have Brianna. Brianna asks, what was my first ever blind box collection and figure I unboxed, and if I still have it? Well, I've already talked about Cosmo already from Tara McPherson, but my first full case was Dimoo Christmas. And it was actually my first ever YouTube video. I'll put a link to that now and in the description if you want to check it out. I actually got a popmart secret edition for my first ever popmart full case in the video, and you can tell I have no idea what it even meant. I was clueless. I loved the full series, and it's actually going to be a part of my Advent, so again, check out my Advent videos. It'll be out in a few days. And that does answer the question if I still have it, but to be honest with you, I pretty much own every single figure I've ever unboxed on YouTube. There's maybe a few figures I've given away to friends, but I've probably only sold maybe 2 of them. And to be honest, there was probably blind boxes that I opened up before the Tara McPherson one and before that Dimoo one. I know there was other popmart ones I did open that I didn't film and did with my best friend, but honestly, it's so hard for me to remember those. Those are the ones that stick out to me. Obi asked, why do I collect? I feel like this is an existential question. Honestly, I like pretty things, I love supporting artists, and there's probably a sprinkle of childhood trauma in there with a helping on the side of not so great spending habits, so there is some negatives to why I collect probably. But overall, it's because I like pretty things. I just have always been a person who's enjoyed pretty aesthetic things. And my house is filled with art. It always has been, whether it's paintings, illustrations, stickers, pins. I just have always been addicted to cute things, which is why I like my tagline, collector of the cute. Now for Blanche questions. Wow, you had such amazing questions. I'm sad most of your questions got lost, but I'll answer the 2 that I was able to see from my notifications. My top 3 favorite brands are Popmart, MJ Studio, and a second one is hard because the rest of the brands I like, maybe only a certain figure and not all the others. But I think I'll say Finding Unicorn just because quality wise, they are 10 out of 10. And for my top 3 artists, I'll put Skull Panda, Shinwoo, and CQ, which is the designer for Bunny, I believe. I do favor Pop Mart most overall, but indie brands are really killing it. I wish more people covered them, and I will say views are pretty terrible if you're not unboxing Pop Mart. Marina and Winter's questions I put together since they were similar. Have you ever thought about designing your own series, and what story, theme, game would you love to see in blind boxes? Yes, I would love to design my own series, but I don't consider myself an artist. I can't really draw, let alone sculpt. But if I was designing my own, I would base it off of my own photography since I do consider myself a bit of an amateur photographer. I think that would be truly amazing, and I definitely probably would never get famous enough to collaborate with Shinwoo, but I think it would be amazing to do a Baby Ghost Bear series based off of my photography. I think that would be so cool. As for what I would like to see in future collabs, I'd love to see Popmart do a King of Fighters or a Diablo collab for games. Or Lord of the Rings if we were talking about movies, or how about a Hunter x Hunter collab with Skull Panda for anime? I think that would be incredible. Also, I love James Jean. He's an incredible artist, so if he collaborated with anyone, I would probably pick it up. But I feel like if he did collaborate, it would probably be with maybe Kid Robot, and I don't know if I would pick it up if it was Kid Robot. And I think that's a perfect transition to my giveaway. I'm so excited to be doing another Christmas giveaway. To enter the giveaway, down below in the comments section, you need to let me know what you would design if you could make your own blind box series. And if you don't feel artistic enough, what collaboration would you like to see? It can be an anime, TV show, book, movie, artist, whatever, and include the brand or character you would like that collaboration to be with. I'm gonna have so much fun reading all of your guys' amazing ideas for a blind box series. I'm so excited. And there is more rules. I won't read them all out, but they are going to be in the description box, so make sure you read through that before you enter. And besides answering that question to be eligible, you do have to be in the US, Canada, or the UK. I'm so sorry I can't have it open worldwide, but just because I don't know what the shipping cost would be to, let's say, Australia or Singapore, I can't really have it open to everyone since I'm the one paying for the shipment. And trust me, even within North America, the shipping is crazy. It's more than the cost of an actual blind box. And you can only be entered once through YouTube, but if you do follow my Instagram and leave a comment on my reel, which is sneak peeking the giveaway, you will get a second entry too. So if you do want to have a second entry, be sure to head on over to my Instagram. The link again will be in the description. And Butter has decided to join me for this voiceover, so I'm not sure if you can hear her purring in the background. And let's continue on with Holly's question. And Holly, I'm so nosy too. I love seeing inside of people's houses. But in terms of doing a house tour, maybe I will eventually. My friends mostly don't live in the same city or province that I do, so they ask me all the time to film my house and do a house tour. Just because when I say it's covered in things, it's covered. I have so many different collections and interesting things throughout my house. And it would be nice to show off my antiques and other collections, which I find really interesting, but I don't know necessarily on YouTube. And I currently live in a pretty shitty rental. I think my place is over 100 years old, so it definitely doesn't look as nice as my office, which you can see in glimpses on YouTube and Instagram. So I might just stick inside of this room for now. And no, I've never been to Japan. I've only ever traveled to the US, Canada, and Mexico. In terms of countries I really want to go to, though, I think South Korea is at the top of my list. And then Chile is next because that's where my partner is from, and I would love to go and meet his family. And then I think Japan is third on my list, but it's definitely somewhere I've wanted to go since I was young. And you also asked about Butter. I've actually had Butter since she was 5 weeks old. I think she was a little too young when I got her because she actually thinks that I'm her mother and is quite clingy to me. She gets separation anxiety. Even now that she's like a super old lady, she has a lot of separation anxiety, but I've had her since she was a little baby. Sometimes I can't believe that I've had her for 16 years. It seems like such a short time ago that I adopted her. For Hugo's question, I don't know if there was the one. I don't think I own any of my Holy Grail vinyl figures. But Junko Mizuno vinyl figures were probably what piqued my interest in designer toys. And of course, Sailor Moon anime figures have always been my true love since I was young. Oh, and in terms of like blind box toys, Skull Panda Ancient Castle. I had actually been watching popmart unboxings for a few months before I saw Skull Panda's first series sneak peeked on Instagram. As soon as I saw it sneak peek, I actually downloaded the AliExpress app on my phone and placed an order as soon as it launched from Popmart's official AliExpress store. I didn't hesitate for a second, and before it even arrived, I had created my YouTube channel because I knew I wanted to unbox it on video. I think my unboxing of it is only like my third ever video, but it was actually the first blind box series that I had ever bought in, if you can believe that. So yeah, Skull Panda's Ancient Castle inspired my whole channel. So I guess that's my answer to your question. Anita asked, have you ever let YouTube statistics determine what you open? No, I actually did a whole month last year of no Pop Mart on my channel and only featured smaller brands. And I did that on purpose just because I wanted to explore more smaller brands and do less Pop Mart videos. I've also featured unpopular IPs and brands on my channel pretty frequently, as I really love Suri and Nancy and Emma, but honestly, they don't get the views. And when I say Popmart gets views or Find a Unicorn, I mean they get the views way more than other brands. And I'm not sure why Bunny and Suri and Emma don't get the views because they seem really popular on places like Instagram. But maybe that's just the generic names they have. But I love them and I won't stop unboxing something even if I know that video won't do very good. There is one or two instances I can think of where I did rush a video because I thought it would be popular and get views. I rushed out a Hirano Little Mischief and the Shinwoo unboxing for the Secret Garden series, just because those are some of the characters that get really good views on my channel, and both videos bombed. They did so badly. Especially the Hirano one, because if you look on my channel, my most popular video, I believe, is the Hirano unboxing. So I really thought series 2 would get a lot of views, but that video, like, it doesn't have terrible views, but compared to that first video, it just didn't. So honestly, I have no clue. I thought they were gonna get amazing views, and they both did terribly. actually. So I think following the YouTube analytics and kind of algorithm can be bad. So I'm not really interested in basing my channel off of that. I rather my style where I do themes and unbox what I want to actually own. And that brings us to our last question. Kate asked about organizing and selling figures and that sort of stuff. I don't sell my figures currently, I just don't have the time to do so. I barely have time to edit these videos most weeks. So I currently have all my duplicates in their boxes waiting for me to sell them. And I also need to go through my collection and see if there's any figures I want to sell on top of my duplicates. And in terms of organizing figures, if I don't have them displayed, I do just keep them in clear acrylic bins waiting for me to redo my displays since I don't have time right now to organize them and I am looking to create more display spaces in my room at the moment. But I do plan on doing a sale next year and I will likely do it through my Instagram account and maybe through a Discord group. I know there's a lot of people who buy full cases to unbox on TikTok and YouTube and then just sell them afterwards, but that sounds exhausting to me. I just don't have that hustle gene to do that, so usually if you see me unbox something on my channel, it's because I want it. But with that said, if you are interested in buying my figures, keep an eye out on my community tab as I'll probably announce it over there when I start selling them on my Instagram. And maybe I'll even do a video about the experience of selling figures, how it was hard, or any tips and tricks I have from doing that. I do really need to do that soon. I think I have like $300 worth of duplicates just sitting on my floor. It's crazy. I really need to sell them. And that was our last question of the video. Thank you everyone for these amazing questions. I had so much fun answering them, and can you believe it? I unboxed 23 figures in today's video. That's totally crazy. We should do that more often in the new year where I'm just unboxing a ton of figures. I really hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed the Q&A. You can let me know down below if you want to see more Q&As in the future. And good luck to everyone entering the giveaway. The winner will be announced in 2 weeks on January 4th on my community tab, as well as Instagram and in the comment section down below. So be sure to check this video on January 4th to see if I've replied to your comment letting you know that you're the winner. I hope you have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow for a special holiday treasure trove. I think it's going to be really fun, and it's going to be an interesting twist on the typical holiday style video. I hope you have a really great night.